Hi, this is Ted Kelly with another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Hey, today we've got a great guest on. Her name is Debbie Cannon. She's with CUSA, and she's going to come on and talk a little bit about them, their services, how they've been faring during COVID, and hopefully now that we're coming out of COVID, how things are going to look going through the rest of 2021 and into 22. Good morning, Debbie. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks. I'm great. Thank you for
Awesome.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's always a privilege to have folks in the industry to come on and talk about what they've been seeing since COVID hit, and then hopefully, on a positive note, we're thinking things are going to turn in a better direction, and hopefully things will get better.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's start by you telling us a little bit about you. How did you get in the hospitality world?
Well, I actually started my career with Hyatt Hotels, and I got into it by accident. I was had a degree in business education. I was going to be a business teacher, and I was doing some theater work and like different plays and that kind of thing. And the gentleman, I was in a just a community theater where we were doing Your Good Man, Charlie Brown. And I was playing the part of Lucy, and the guy that was playing the part of Charlie Brown happened to be in the hotel industry, and he kind of
Wow.
introduced to the hotel industry, and I got into it that way. So sort of by accident, and started with Hyatt and then worked my way up, and then with Brookshire Hotels. I was with them for 8 years, and vice president of sales and marketing. Started as actually a sales manager with them, and then worked my way up to a vice president of sales and marketing. Then was with a number of 4- and 5-star hotel properties, members of leading hotels of the world, and then started CUSA back in 1991. And with my partner, Chuck Taylor. And I serve today as the president of CUSA, and we are a nationally ranked and recognized hotel management company, and we manage about 35 hotels across the United States, and then we have one property in the West Indies, and we manage all different franchises, all different types of hotels, from full to limited to select service. We are an approved management company for all the major brands, including Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, Choice, and IHG, and all those in between. So that's kind of a brief overview of how I got into the industry and what I've been doing since I
Great.
got in there.
Wow. Wow. That is deep and wide, as they say, in the experience in the hospitality world. So let me ask this question. When and why does an owner want to consider a third-party management company?
Well, I believe that an owner should look at their experience level and the difficulty of the project that they have in front of them. I work with a lot of private owners that they may have had great success in another industry, and now they're branching into the hospitality industry,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
can grow from someone who has been there and done that, and help them to maneuver really into an industry that is unlike any other. It is like a little city that operates 24 hours a day. So it is very different than a lot of the industries that I find owners branching out of and coming into the hospitality side. So from that perspective, I think that a management company can be of great benefit to that type of owner. I also believe that an owner that wants to grow their portfolio, in other words, they want to grow into other hotels in other areas. They can't be bogged down with the operations side of 1 or 2 or 4 hotels in order for them to grow their portfolio. It's great to work with a good management company that can be the operator, so that they're freed up to do the development that they want to do. And then, of course, there's institutional owners that just do not want to do the day-to-day operation and don't have the team to be able to do that, and we do. So that's what we bring to.
Wow, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about what should they look for if they're looking to go with a third-party management company. What should they look for?
Well, I believe strongly that you need to look for a company that is hands-on in its approach and creative in its approach. And I say that because I think today, especially post-pandemic and especially with the challenges that our industry is facing, you need to have a company that looks at every individual hotel and every individual market and comes up with a specific creative game plan that works for that owner, that specific property, that location, and that franchise. And we do that. And I think that has made us very successful over the years. We don't necessarily look at every hotel and say, okay, we're going to come up with a plan that works for 25 hotels. We come up with a plan that works individually for each of those 25 hotels. Because they're all in unique markets, they all have unique owners, and they all have a wide variety of different things that are going to work for that market and location. And one of the things that I think has been really interesting during the pandemic is that you really had to work hard to come up with ways to maneuver and keep the hotels open and operating and still producing revenue. And we did that every week. Our corporate director of sales and marketing would send out a new hit list of accounts of those that were traveling, of those that in their area would be people to reach out to, so that we didn't have to close any hotels. And that was very, very significant in fast forward to today in being able to see good growth post-pandemic, if you will. So.
Wow, that's awesome. So sounds like you guys were able to fare through the pandemic without having to close any of the hotels that you manage. Is that right? And
That's correct.
wow, that's awesome. And then, so I'm assuming then from a staffing standpoint, did you guys find there were challenges on keeping the hotels open and trying to run at a maximum operation level where it was efficient to keep them open? How challenging was the staffing side for that?
Well, extremely challenging, and it continues to be challenging. But we've had to get very creative on that side too. And certainly using all of our executive staff who are cross-trained and they worked the desk and shifts and all those types of things. We worked with the franchises in order to, and the guests, to be able to give services that matched what we were able to do in terms of our associates. In other words, we may not have, if the guest was amenable to not having their room cleaned every day, we would clean it every other day. You were able to make modifications with your breakfast and other things so that you could cut back on your breakfast staff. Our managers work shift at the front desk. All of those things combined to get through or weather through where you had employees who were associates who were either had COVID and needed that quarantine period, or just were caring for loved ones that also were suffering from COVID. So all of those challenges we had to work through. Now it's a matter of getting people back to work, providing incentives to do that, providing ways of working with where if another associate introduces a staff member that stays with us for 90 days, there's an incentive to that associate for bringing that person. Also just working together with groups that, are out there trying to do some creative things. There's one thing that we're doing with a group that is going to have long-term benefits, and that is that they are setting up with, these are adults that have disabilities that may be Down syndrome or something. They're functioning, but they function at a different level. We have set up a mock hotel room, and we're training them on the skill set to be, housekeeping associates, and they are very, very good at being able to learn those tasks and do those repetitive tasks on a regular basis. I'm very excited about this program because I think that it will produce long-term just associates who enjoy that type of repetitive work, and they benefit us and we're benefiting them. So I'm really excited about that program, and that's a term thing. That's not a short-term thing, but that's a way of introducing another group of associates into that market. I'm real excited about that.
Right. And I think that's an awesome idea because those folks actually would love to have something to do during the day anyway. So it gives them something to do. It gives them a responsibility. They feel like they're contributing and they're productive. So that's an awesome program. Kudos to you guys for going out and doing that, because I think that's definitely needed. So tell me this: you guys manage hotels solely. You don't own any, or do you?
No, we are strictly a third-party management company.
Okay, so you guys just do the management side, and I think you guys also have some other niche businesses or services that you offer that kind of maybe play off into the hospitality side as well, right? Aren't you guys partially in some other industries that you guys participate in?
Yeah, we'll do multifamily as well as commercial. And that just stems back from when we founded the company in 1991. We were doing a lot of work for RTC, SEIC, Ameresco, KeyBank, all of those different special servicers, because you were in an economic time when all of that was kind of happening. And so we developed relationships with those key special servicers, and they didn't always just have assets that were hospitality. They had assets that were multifamily and commercial. So we started, as we built those relationships, they brought us in initially to those multifamily opportunities or the commercial opportunities, and we started to set up a skill set and people that that were very good in that arena. And so we were able to manage in that sector very efficiently, because there are a lot of crossovers from hospitality to certainly commercial and multifamily. So we took that skill set that we had in hospitality and applied it to multifamily, as well as retail and office, and we were able to successfully manage in that arena. Today, we still continue to do that. The bulk of our portfolio is hospitality, probably about 85 to 90% is hospitality, but we still do the multifamily and commercial side as well.
Yeah, well, you guys must be doing something right if you're ranked in the top 100 management companies on the hotel side every, 20 years, I think? 21 years, maybe.
Years consecutively for the last 21 years. And, I appreciate you saying that. And we are humbled by that, because by the grace of God, we've been able to be around since 1991 and be so as successful as we have. Because being a third party, strictly a third-party management company, where you're not owning anything that you operate, that's a long time to be around, and to be ranked in the top 100 has been a very good thing for us, and we feel very blessed to have that.
Yeah, well, we over here at THM wish you guys continued success on that. I've got one last question for you. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen for the rest of 2021 and into 2022 for the hospitality industry? You think we're coming back, or we think we got a little bit more road to the recovery?
Well, you know what? I believe that it's a little of both. Unfortunately, with what is happening right now and the uncertainty with the Delta variant and that type of thing, I think that I'm praying that we do not shut down again, that the country doesn't do that. I don't know that we could sustain that. Our hotels, our portfolio, and we manage a cross-section over a wide variety of different markets, franchises, and types of hotels. As I mentioned earlier, our hotels as a portfolio, we are running since really May of this year, we are running better numbers than we did in 2019.
Wow.
So our hotels have really come back in a very strong way. And I'm very excited about that. I think that is absolutely terrific. But I also look out to the end of the year and I say, okay, I want to continue that growth. And but I also am sensitive to the fact that there are rumblings of do we shut down by different states? What happens with the universities? We manage some hotels that are in college or university towns. So all of those things will play into how the recovery continues. But we're seeing a very robust recovery,
Right.
and that will go into 2022. And I'm excited about all that. But I think a lot depends on how we face another challenge. If the economy starts to shut down again, how we face that. I would say to our industry, stay open. Don't close down because we're going to have to learn to live with COVID. And if we can do that by being open and operational, we will survive through to the next crisis. But shutting down is not necessarily the answer because I don't know that we can sustain that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement there. I just think we got to take all the necessary precautions to protect each other and get vaccinated and all of those good things, so that at least we're putting our best foot forward, in everything that we're doing and not kind of playing it by ear. So Debbie, tell me, how do folks find you if they're looking for a third-party management company? And we're saying CUSA is a great one. How do they find you?
They go to www.1, that's the number 1, CUSA.com. And we would be happy to get them any information that they might need and happy to talk to them about their individual project and what we might be able to do to take them to the next level.
Awesome. Awesome. This has been another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.